Alright guys, it is your buddy Kintips here. Today I'm doing my full review of Sakura Wars, as I've never done a full review of this game yet, and it needs to be talked about, as this game is actually really good. The game doesn't get enough good press, and it's basically a nice JRPG with Persona type elements and mech battles, basically. So you're Kamiyama, and you're basically a new person taking over this squadron of mech fighters. I finished this game. You guys can watch it, my whole Let's Play on my channel. But I just want to give you guys a good idea of what the game is like. So let's get started. So this game, as you can see, it will have different choices where it will change the dialogue and change some of the outcomes. You actually earn all the girls' affections, and you can get more dates and stuff like that later on. So there's actually, I wouldn't consider it fan service, but there's a little bit in there, but it's not like really a lot. But the gameplay is really, the storyline and the gameplay is really what drags you in. The mech battles are okay depending on which mech you use. There's ones that are better than others. Yeah, so gameplay wise, it's your traditional JRPG, get your affection. There's no levels. You don't actually level up your character in a way, but it's all about the affection. The more affection you get, the more stronger your character almost becomes. So, and I sort of miss the elements of leveling up, but it's not horrible. The dialogue is good. There's a lot of neat dialogue, tons and tons of storyline in this. There's animated cutscenes. Loading time is not too bad. As you can see, this is a loading screen right here. Yeah, it's actually a really good game, guys. So definitely check it out. Like, here is a scene here where you can actually interact with some of the characters here, and you just want to win their affection. That's pretty much the whole game. It's actually kind of neat how it's all based on that. So as you can see, this part here, you actually want to date one of the girls. It's actually kind of neat. They'll invite you to go to places, and you spend like hours and days. It's very similar to Persona, so on how that works. So you have certain times, like right here, you can see you can do one event with certain girls, and it actually can spawn to other characters as well. So you can get different characters to do different events. Now, let's talk a bit about the combat. So the combat is pretty neat. There's a couple of buttons. There's a super move that you have to collect all these crystals to get your super move, and that super move does a lot of damage. There's a heavy attack, light attack, and jump, and that's pretty much it. There's characters that have ranged combat, so it depends on the mech that you use. Each girl has their different specialties. Two mechs are always about the same, so your main character, like Kamiyama, is pretty similar to Sakura's mech. But like Anastasia's mech is probably the best. You know, it's the best. Like, there's no doubt about it. That's the one you want to use, guys, by the way, if you're playing the game. Now, like, as you can see, this is the combat. It's pretty fun. There's nothing to it. Like like I said, you don't really level up the characters. You just try to stay alive. That's pretty much it. Take out all the enemies, and then you move on. So the combat's pretty easy. I wish there was a leveling up the mech or modifying certain parts or something like that, but there isn't really any of that. And then you can collect bromides in the game as a collectible. It's basically just like gallery art, things like that. So for my final review of this game, I had a fun time with it. It's really fun, guys. It's worth the money if you like JRPGs and things like that. It's one of those games, it's like Yakuza. You know, when I first played Yakuza, I didn't know what to think. But it's grown on me, and Yakuza is one of those series that whenever SEGA puts it out, I'll always buy it. This is going to be one of those series whenever SEGA puts out a new one, I'll probably buy it as well, guys. My final verdict for this game, I give it a solid 9 out of 10, by the way. Okay, the reason why is because of the storyline. Not so much for the combat. Like, it could use some work on certain things, but it's not. The storyline is what really draws you in. It's like Persona, like you said, guys. It's pretty. Is it on par with Persona? I think it's pretty darn close for the storyline aspect. I really enjoyed the story, guys. But you know, like I said, the combat could use a little bit more work on it, but it's not horrible. It's good. It does the job. That's where I probably would take off the marks, but everything else actually is pretty good. So, alright guys, stay tuned for more videos. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and thumbs up the video. And